Breaking on 4 News Now, an arrest leads to lockdowns at 2 Spokane schools. We are live at the scene with what we know so far.
We have more warm and breezy spring days in the 70s before a return to summer heat in your First Alert forecast.
And a date has been set to close Camp Hope when the city and the state says the homeless encampment will be cleared out. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We begin with that breaking news tonight. 2 Spokane schools placed on lockdown late this afternoon as police arrested a wanted man. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Jordan Smith. Aaron Luna has the night off, and it happened near Toccoa and Division on the South Hill, just west of Grand Avenue. That's where our Rania Kaur is tonight with what we've learned since 5 o'clock. Rania?
Jordan, Kirsten, within just the past few minutes, I learned that the man they arrested was Ryan Scholes. He's the man police were searching for during the weekend in connection to the shooting on North Foothills Drive. Police say they became aware Scholes was in a home on 29th around 1:30 this afternoon. I spoke to the owner of that home, who didn't go on camera, but tells me he wasn't aware that Scholes was inside his home. He says, well, he didn't know Scholes himself. There's a likelihood his roommate did. Both Sacagawea Middle School and Jefferson Elementary School were put on a modified lockdown. That, of course, has since been lifted. 29th was closed from Tico through Division. That has also been opened. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated with the latest information right here on KXLY. In South Spokane, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Some good information there, Rania. Thanks for that. And we'll turn to some more breaking news here in this last half hour. A federal judge in Spokane has dealt a major blow to former Washington State football coach Nick Rolovich, ruling tonight that Rolovich can't sue Governor Jay Inslee or the Washington State University athletic director Pat Chun for terminating his contract because he wouldn't get the COVID vaccine. Rolovich was fired back in 2021. He cited religious beliefs for not getting the COVID vaccine required for all state employees. The former coach fought back, filing a federal lawsuit against Inslee, Chun, and WSU. Late today, a judge in Spokane ruled against Rolovich, saying he can't sue Inslee or Chun, and that's in part because the judge believes that the proclamation requiring the vaccine was legal, and that Rolovich couldn't prove that he was discriminated against for his religious beliefs. A breach of contract suit against Washington State, however, is still pending. We're going through that right now, and you can read more details in our top story on KXLY.com.
Also breaking tonight, it was once one of the largest homeless encampments in the state of Washington. Now Camp Hope is set to close.
Both the city of Spokane and the state announcing the camp will be cleared out by June 30th. Our Vanessa Perez is in studio with a look at what's next.
Yeah, well, Camp Hope is far from its peak days last summer. Only a handful of people are left at the encampment now. State and city leaders met over the last couple of months to hash out a plan to close down the camp. People left are the most fragile, and service providers are using this time to find them housing options. Both agencies agreed on the June 30th deadline. They say this is what they always wanted, to close down the camp in a humane way. At last check, 20 people were living at Camp Hope. Those numbers were taken last week. WashDOT says it fluctuates as people are getting into housing, and it's likely more have moved since.
So finding that right option for that individual has been crucial in getting us to where we are today and towards closing Camp Hope. So now that we've got it down to these remaining 20 individuals or so, you know, we can narrow it down to those final 20 and get them the appropriate housing.
A new count is underway right now and will be released next week. The city says the date gives people another opportunity to go into its shelter system or permanent housing while receiving services. Mayor Woodward also said establishing a date was critical for those living there, the neighbors and businesses in the area. Once the remaining people have left Camp Hope, WashDOT says it'll start the cleanup process and restore the land back to its original state. Live in studio, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Vanessa. Well, you're going to want to enjoy this warm spring weather while you still can, because hot temperatures are on the way and not everybody loves those. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. You know what I mean, Chris. Some people people love that hot weather, but
yes, they do.
It's not spring.
I will say I never get complaints about the 70s, and we have some 70s in the forecast, including some cool mornings for good sleeping weather. Right now, some clouds that were drifting through are clearing. We have got mostly clear skies as we look to the west from our station here at 500 West Boone Avenue. As you take a look at our satellite and radar, you could see more clouds and showers way on the bottom of your screen, and that flow of moisture is going to stay to our east. Showers as far west as Kalispell, but I think most of the inland northwest is going to be staying dry as that moisture streams up. Temperatures right now 77 in Spokane. We are running above average, 81 in Grand Coulee, 83 in Lewiston. We'll be a little bit cooler tomorrow right around the Spokane area. It's 80 degrees in downtown, but 70s elsewhere around the region, including a comfortable 72 in Spangle. Here's a look at your evening planner. Temperatures staying in the 70s through 7 o'clock. Winds dying down. We'll see those few high clouds drifting through, but it should be a very pleasant night and a cool start to the day tomorrow in the 40s. I'll tell you more about that and about the big warm-up in the 7-day forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Jordan?
All right, Chris, thanks for that. Back in February, we told you about the Reardon teenager who police say was accidentally shot and killed by one of his friends when they were hanging out all day on a snow day.
That's right. And Shadrach Hall Turner died that day. Today, the now 17-year-old who fired the gun learned he will be spending the next 2.5 years in a juvenile rehabilitation center for bringing the gun and ultimately firing that deadly shot. And a note, 4 News Now will not be naming the defendant because he was ultimately charged in juvenile court as a minor.
Our Natalie Grant was in the courtroom in Lincoln County today when he learned his fate. Natalie, what can you tell us?
Well, Jordan, Kirsten, friends and family of both Shadrach and the defendant filled the courtroom here in Lincoln County today. It was an emotional day as the family of Shadrach read those victim impact statements and shared how much they love and miss him. Now, when the defendant entered into the courtroom today, his case was being heard in Superior Court but as a part of this plea deal, it was moved to juvenile court with a longer than average sentence. This comes out to about 2.5 years for both charges of unlawful possession of a firearm as a minor and first-degree manslaughter. However, the judge did agree that if he does not maintain good behavior, he'll be transferred to the Department of Corrections once he turns 18 and finish his sentence with the adults.
And while Shadrach is never going to come back to us, someday he's going to get out of jail. Someday he is going to return to society, and the state has an obligation to ensure, attempt to bring him back into society as a functioning member of that society.
Now, during those victim impact statements, the family of Shadrach made it clear that they did not want this case moved and they were hoping for a longer sentence, but in the end saying they would strive to keep Shadrach's memory alive.
We'll work for laws upholding people responsible for their unsecured guns, holding teens responsible for their harm they inflict on others, educating kids on how dangerous loaded guns can be and quickly end someone's life.
Now, today, the defendant was visually remorseful, crying while those victim impact statements were read, and even apologizing to the family of Shadrach when he read his statement, calling him his best friend. Now, all parties said they agreed on this deal to hopefully give the defendant the time he needs to learn from his tragic mistake that night and hopefully set him up for a life after his sentence where he still has a chance to succeed. Reporting in Lincoln County tonight, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Natalie, thank you. A man from Moses Lake will now spend the next 15 years in prison for murdering his wife. Charles Bergman pleaded guilty for killing his wife, Teresa, back in September. Her body was found near a farm in Sprague a few days after Charles is said to have picked her up from the airport.
And still much more ahead here tonight. Congress only has a few days left to raise the debt ceiling to avoid the country defaulting on its debt. The impacts if they don't raise it, coming up next on 4 News Now at 6.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
Now a joke from York's Fresh Murder. What did the tomato say to his son when they were racing? Catch up!
It's time. Time to let your soul breathe a little, to feel the sun on your face, and to feel alive again. It's time to dust off the clubs, to treat yourself, and test out your lungs. It's time to get away to the place that's not so far away. Lakeside Coeur d'Alene. Find countless ways to play and stay in CDA at visitcda.org.
Life, it doesn't stand still, and neither do you. And wherever you go, we're with you. We're Global Credit Union, formerly Alaska USA. For 75 years, enriching the lives of members and guiding them on their financial journeys, giving them the confidence to not just follow their dreams, but to chase them. The future? We're on it. Let's get there together. Global Credit Union. On we go.
Considering selling your RV? R&R wants it. Tired of paying storage fees? R&R needs it. Just don't use it anymore? R&R will buy it. Due to a critical shortage of pre-owned RVs, R&R RV is currently paying our absolute top dollar for your used RV. Any year, any make, any model. Turn your RV into cash or flip it for a newer model. So if you no longer use it or want it, let R&R RV buy it. Visit the R&R RV Superstore in North Spokane or call Ryan at 509-244-5888.
This is Dan. Dan is digging a tunnel. Dan really wants to attend the MLB All-Star Week at T-Mobile Park, so Dan is digging. Too bad no one told Dan about the $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery. Each purchase comes with a chance to win one of 14 MLB All-Star Week prize packages. But Dan doesn't know that, so Dan is digging. Good luck, Dan. You might want to hurry. Or go get a $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery.
And now a joke from Yolk's Fresh Market.
What drink brings you back to Earth? Grab a tea.
Around the nation here tonight, while many Americans and members of Congress were enjoying the long weekend, the White House and House Republican leadership clinched a tentative deal on raising the debt ceiling.
Now that deal needs to pass both chambers of Congress. Karen Caifa is in Washington, D.C. with more.
The deal reached Saturday, coupled with Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's new calculation Friday that the government can keep paying the bills until at least Monday, June 5th, prompted many in Washington and on Wall Street to breathe a sigh of relief. But today jump-started a new phase, and the work isn't done yet.
First came the deal, now comes the sale.
We always expected that there would be certain pockets of opposition to this deal, but overall it's a good deal, it's a fair deal, and we're confident that it will get to the president's desk.
And it may not be easy for President Biden to convince some Democrats.
Many of us right now are very angry that we have been held hostage, that we find ourselves in this situation.
And House Speaker Kevin McCarthy to persuade some Republicans.
Not one Republican should vote for this deal. It is a bad deal.
Biden and McCarthy reached a tentative deal Saturday to suspend the nation's debt ceiling and cap non-defense spending for 2 years. Hardline conservatives say it doesn't cut spending enough and want it stopped.
It's time to go back to the drawing table. It's time for us to say no.
Some lawmakers say their dissatisfaction with some parts of the bill is outweighed by the potential consequences.
When we look at the prospect of a first ever default in American history that would truly be a catastrophic event.
House Republican leaders want to put the plan to a floor vote Wednesday. The deal in its legislative form needs to pass both chambers of Congress and reach President Biden's desk by next Monday, June 5th, the day the Treasury Department now says the government will run out of money to pay all its bills.
And a trade group that includes some of the biggest banking CEOs in the country is urging members of both houses of Congress to keep this deal moving. And in the housing market, one real estate CEO says that the debt ceiling uncertainty is piling on top of unsteadiness in the market, pushing up interest rates as the threat of a default still looms. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
Sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, is the leading cause of death for babies in their first year of life, and the cause of it has been a mystery.
But scientists are learning more about SIDS, which mostly happens when babies are asleep. In a recent study, researchers looked into one theory for the cause of SIDS, which is a disruption of breathing. A team studied 58 babies who died of SIDS. They found an abnormality in SIDS babies' receptor meant to respond to low oxygen. That's the one that causes us to wake up and gasp for air. An abnormality could interfere with that kickstart to the breathing process.
Here's your Wednesday planner. We're going to start the day off down in the 40s, warming up to a high of 74. 70 is our average high. So in the ballpark, mostly sunny skies with a few more clouds in the afternoon. I'll be back to tell you about the warm weather on the way. Hot, I should say. That's coming up after the break.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
Performance. It's what powers the 2023 family of Mazda CUVs. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and an available turbo engine, helping you take performance further.
With effortless power and the reliability of iActive all-wheel drive, Mazda CUVs are built for the Pacific Northwest. Take a test drive today at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
This week on GMA, the Sharks are here for you. Mark, Robert, Barbara, Damon, with real strategies on how you can be successful and get the best deal with real estate.
Are you ready to swim with the Sharks?
Shark-proof your life on Good Morning America.
My name is Jennifer, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November of 2015. Getting a cancer diagnosis is literally like having the rug pulled out from underneath you. When I'm at Summit Cancer Centers, I feel like they're kind of part of my family in a sense. They've always had my best interests in mind, so I'm actually very hopeful for the future. I would recommend Summit Cancer Center.
I'm Jan Baldwin, and I built this. And I built this. My father, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather were all woodworkers. And they taught me the craftsman tradition that says anything worth doing is worth doing right. That's why we get all our building materials from Par. They've been part of our success for 3 generations.
Par, your total home building source since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
New at 6 o'clock here tonight, a new neighborhood is currently being built in Las Vegas. And get this, all the streets will be named after Pokemon. The idea came from exactly where you would think.
What we did is one night I came home from work and I was kind of bouncing street names off of my kids. And then one of my kids was like, what about Pokemon?
And the development company is going to keep the fun naming trend going, saying another community will have their street named after characters from Yellowstone.
Ah, more popular.
More popular,
characters.
Oh my goodness. My kids would love that. I do not recognize any of those names, I have to say. 76 in Coeur d'Alene right now. It's 77 in Spokane. Reporting mostly cloudy skies at the airport, but it could not be more clear here in downtown Spokane, looking that way to the south and west. We will see some clouds drifting through from time to time, mostly clear to partly cloudy. 48 for an overnight low. Boy, open up the windows, let that fresh air in. 74 for a high tomorrow with a mix of sun and clouds. More sun than clouds, however. We'll see a few clouds drifting through in the afternoon and a nice breeze with gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Here's what's going on our forecast. We have a southwest relief low over the region right now, and that's what's bringing those few clouds over the region right now. We have many more clouds and some showers to our south and east, and it looks like the showers are going to stay to our south and east. Here's Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. As we get into the afternoon and evening and even into Thursday, we will see that wet weather in western Montana, but we are going to be staying dry with that southerly flow over the region, bringing some clouds occasionally to the area, especially in Idaho, but no precipitation. Here's a closer look. Wednesday, 6 a.m. With a few showers, maybe in the Orofino area, a sprinkle or two possible in Kellogg, but we are staying dry over the rest of the inland northwest. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 40s in most locations, and then we're warming up to a high of 74, 75 on Thursday, and then we really start warming up. We'll be in the upper 80s on Monday and Tuesday, and there's growing confidence that we're going to see even hotter weather as we get into the middle of next week. Would not be surprised to see some 90s showing up in the 7-day forecast. Overnight lows tonight, 40s in most locations, a few 50s on the map. And as we zoom in around the Spokane area, find 39 in Deer Park. The only spot I could find down in the 30s. But I bet in Blanchard, you may be getting down into the 30s and some of those other sheltered valleys where you tend to be on the cool side. No danger of a frost. Warm temperatures tomorrow up into the 70s in most locations around the Spokane area. Few 80s on the map as we zoom out, including Omak. Not in Lewiston, though, 79 there. 75 on Thursday with mostly sunny skies, 79 on Friday. It is going to be lake weather this weekend with temperatures in the mid-80s. We're into the upper 80s Monday and Tuesday. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms as we get into the middle of next week, but otherwise we are dry across the region. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Police have arrested both suspects involved in that mass shooting at a crowded eastern Florida beach.
In total, 9 people who were shot, including 3 children. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
2 people under arrest in connection with this mass shooting on Memorial Day. Surveillance video released by police shows people running for safety at the beachfront in Hollywood, Florida Monday when shots rang out.
I heard like pop, 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 like about 6-7 shots. Everybody started running.
Everyone was praying, like it was terrifying.
The gunfire breaking out around 6:30 in the evening as beachgoers were enjoying the holiday.
We received a call of multiple people shot. When officers arrived on scene, there were 9 victims with gunshot wounds.
5 adults and 4 children were shot, including a 1-year-old. You can see police and Good Samaritans treating victims, all of them in stable condition. An eyewitness says he saw several young men fighting in front of the stores lining the boardwalk when one pulled out a gun and started shooting. The search still ongoing for 3 others believed to be involved. The suspected gunman seen in this surveillance picture wearing a yellow sweatshirt. This was the 262nd mass shooting this year alone, according to the Gun Violence Archive. And in Chicago this weekend, police say at least 47 people were shot in different incidents, 9 of them fatally. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
You know, at first I was shocked when I won this Porsche Macan from Northern Quest, but then I realized someone had to win. Why not me? Life is crazy. Heck, it's gotten to the point where nothing surprises me. Hey, beer me.
You could win a brand new Porsche Macan, only in Northern Quest.
Finally, gardens are growing, flowers are blooming, and the Celebrate Spring event at Jacobs Custom Living continues. New furniture has arrived, and Jacobs really has the largest and most varied inventory ever. Comfortable lounge furniture, elegant outdoor dining sets, umbrellas, and much more. Take it home today if you're ready or get free storage for a limited time. Special spring clearance pricing on select items throughout the store. Come celebrate spring at Jacobs Custom Living on Sprague, just east of Sullivan in the Spokane Valley.
There's something unusual about doing business with Idaho Central Credit Union. It's not something you can put your finger on. It's not something you can copy and mass produce. It's just the Idaho way. And that's the way we partner with your business. Welcome to Business Unusual, where how you do business is how we do business. Idaho Central Credit Union. Your business is our purpose.
This is how legends are. 2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $2,500 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Four News Now is brought to you by Northwest Window and Door.
Anger and desperation are growing at the site of Sunday's partial building collapse in Davenport, Iowa. Family members of people still missing are gathered outside of that building, outraged at city leaders.
They're accusing them of fast-tracking the demolition of the rest of the building. Laura Aguirre has more on the protests and what city officials are now saying.
I plead with our community just to let the city do their job.
An emotional plea Tuesday from a family member of Ryan Hitchcock, who's unaccounted for and believed to be inside the rubble of the collapsed apartment building.
The city does have a plan, and pushing any delays is one more day that he's under there.
Ryan's name among those chanted by protesters Tuesday morning outside Davenport's City Hall.
Where's Ryan?
They say not enough is being done to search for possible survivors after a ninth person was rescued from the building Monday.
We believe him to be down in the rubble, and they're trying to tear down the building, and I don't believe that's right.
Mike Collier says his cousin has been missing since Sunday's collapse.
Rescue Brandon Colvin.
He wants the city to stop any demolition plans.
Our search teams are currently deployed on site. That building is unstable, and it continues to worsen as time progresses.
The fire chief says at least 2 extensive searches have been conducted using canines, drones, thermal imaging, and trained rescuers.
No confirmed viable signs of life were noted at that time.
The city says it's still evaluating any demolition plans and the timing.
They have given us our word that they are going to treat that already collapsed area with sensitivity. This is the best plan of attack, and we don't want anyone else hurt.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Do you have broken or worn items in your house that you're tempted to throw away? Well, you can get it fixed instead with Spokane's Repair Cafe. It's a group of volunteers who just know how to fix stuff. You can find them at the Perry Street Farmers Market this summer, ready to repair almost anything you bring them, from toys to clocks to cookware. Repair Cafe Spokane has all the tools they need on hand. Just bring them what needs to be fixed, and they do it for free.
I just love seeing the look on people's faces and see how easy it is to troubleshoot and repair many of the things that they think would just be thrown away.
You can just bring your broken stuff to Repair Cafe Spokane at the Perry Street Farmers Market. That's every second Thursday of the month. The next one, Thursday, June 8th. For more information on the Repair Cafe here and others around the world, see this story on KXLY.com.
Passengers on one Carnival cruise were surprised as rough seas caused parts of the ship to flood.
It also sent debris flying everywhere. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has more.
This morning, the terrifying moments on the high seas.
Pitching, diving, rocking, rolling. It was 11 straight hours of pure hell.
The Carnival Sunshine cruise sailing into rough waters during a storm on the last night of its voyage from the Bahamas to Charleston Saturday. Water streaming into cabins, damaging hallways and this gift shop.
The winds sounded like a wind tunnel.
49-year-old passenger Sharon Tutron and her mom Rosemary were on board celebrating. Sharon recently finished chemo and radiation for breast cancer. They rode out the storm inside their cabin on the 11th floor.
I thought we were going to capsize. It was absolutely terrifying.
Not reassuring us.
Passenger Daniel Taylor says he was frustrated with the lack of communication from the crew.
After the weather got really bad, nobody reached out. There was silence over the intercom system.
But a Carnival spokesperson said that they made several announcements about the weather and the delay it caused in returning to Charleston, asking guests to use extra precaution. Some of the worst weather occurred in the overnight hours when announcements are not typically made, but guests and crew were safe.
Authorities say just some guests and crew needed minor medical attention. The ship left the next day with new passengers off to another cruise. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
Well, we have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including the unconventional way one set of robbers escaped after stealing thousands of dollars from a Western Washington home. That story coming up next.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
When it's time to protect your home, call Everhart Painting, Spokane's premier painting contractor. Everhart Painting takes care of every detail and backs the results with their industry-leading warranty. Call today and receive their spring special for $500 off. Everhart Painting, your exterior repaint specialist.
Hit the ground running in the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Pilot and Passport Trail Sport, or the Ridgeline, made more rugged with better off-road performance, and more capable with different driving modes available to conquer snow, mud, and sand. Adventure on in the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice, relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning. So you're looking for something to do? We got you. Want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you wanna do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Go to Lake Casino. At the Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
This place holds very special memories for Charlie. It's where he grew up, where he built his business, where his heart is. But not long ago, it was Charlie's heart that needed help. When he realized he was having a heart attack, Kootenai Health's team of more than 40 cardiac care providers was only minutes from his home. That's where Dr. Fritz and Dr. Burnett performed life-saving, state-of-the-art care to heal Charlie's heart.
Let's wave the flag together. Hello, I'm Mark Peterson with 4 News Now, presenting the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered flag to any BECU Spokane location on Friday, June 23rd. In exchange, you'll receive a new American-made flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
BECU is proud to be part of the Great American Flag Swap. We're honored to live in a community that supports veterans and military families who sacrifice for the benefit of us all. Visit us in Spokane and see what banking is like when people come first. BECU, not for profit, equals more for people.
Do you have concrete floors that look like this? Let Everhart Painting floor coating specialists transform your floors with their multi-step coating system. The finished product is spectacular. Call Everhart Painting today and receive their spring special for $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
People in Spokane came out to one downtown Starbucks to meet with local officers to get to know them and share their concerns in their own communities. But it wasn't your average coffee with a cop.
It's actually one of 5 new ways the Spokane Police Department is engaging with members of the community. The program was created by an Eastern Washington University student, and our Bronte Zaratsky explains what this new program is and why members of the community want more communication with local police.
Part 1 of this new 5-part program officially launched on Tuesday, giving Spokane community members a better chance to discuss local issues with police and improve relationships with officers. Taylor Tollefson is a freshman at Eastern Washington University and is already changing her community for the better. On Tuesday, Spokane Police launched Step 1 of her 5-step approach to strengthen the community's relationship with SPD. It's something she was able to work on with Chief Meidel directly.
community member says, I'm willing to take the lead, I'm willing to do all the logistics, and I want to be the face of this and help you guys connect with the community. So that was so awesome. It was just absolutely fantastic to see that.
Meidel says he and other officers have already had some productive talks with people stopping by.
The concerns we hear from the rest of the community, the homelessness. You know, how do we compassionately deal with the homelessness? How do we address those folks who are living on our streets and get them into shelter?
Nazira Pearson Muhammad was invited by SPD after a neighbor called the cops on her, believing she was breaking into a car. In reality, her car was being broken into.
Actually, it was a civilian, someone else, who broke into my vehicle, and so it was really heartbreaking that it wasn't taken serious.
But she says after speaking with police at this event, she doesn't feel as alone in her experience.
Especially with the problem that we already have with race and African Americans and police. So it's nice that our community is starting to do something with getting to know their community as well.
More of these programs are on the way, aside from just conversations with cops, aimed at connecting local police to all age groups and backgrounds. Reporting in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather after a quick live look at our downtown Spokane, where a beautiful evening is in progress. A mix of sun and clouds in the forecast for Wednesday. We're going to stay in the 70s through Friday before we really start to warm up. Breezy at times, particularly tomorrow, with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Here's a look at our satellite and radar right now. We do have a few high and mid-level clouds drifting through the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Presently, we have to go way down to the far south corner of your screen to find any sign of precipitation, and that is not going to gain much headway in this direction. Temperatures right now are in the mid-70s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 74 in Pullman. It's in the 80s in Lewiston, Moses Lake, as well as Omak. It's going to be a great night of sleep tonight. Get some good sleep, because there are going to be some warm and uncomfortable nights ahead in the 7-day forecast. Tonight may even get down into the 30s in Deer Park and some of the sheltered northern valleys. Your Wednesday planner, our average high is 70. We're heading up to a high temperature of 74 degrees with a few more clouds in the afternoon filtering our sunshine. I'll be back with your 7-day outlook in just a few minutes. Jordan.
All right, Chris, thanks for that. A Coeur d'Alene man is now facing an assault charge over a shooting that took place at the Corner Bar last night. Investigators say it all started when 42-year-old Corey Hippenstyle got into an argument with the victim inside the bar. They eventually ended up outside, where they began to push each other, and that's when Hippenstyle went to his car and grabbed his gun. Hippenstyle then went and hit the victim in the head and shot him twice. Police have not released the condition of the victim. In just a few weeks, a new library will be opening in Spokane Valley. It's on North Herald Road near Balfour Park and across the street from City Hall. The 28,000 square foot library space will feature a children's place with interactive learning areas, 4 conference rooms, and much more. That opens on June 17th.
Around the Northwest, just a tragic story. A 1-year-old baby was found dead after being left in the car by their foster mother. Police say the woman left the baby while she went to work. This happened last Wednesday in Puyallup, where temperatures outside were in the 70s, but it was more than 100 degrees in the car. Investigators say the woman became distracted and left the baby in her car as she went to work in a social services job at the hospital. Hours later, she returned to the car and rushed the child into the hospital, but it was too late.
And a lot going on in everyone's families and lives throughout the world, so it's a good time to slow down and just kind of take a double take and be aware of what we have around us and our families.
As of now, no arrests have been made. The case is still under investigation.
Police in Western Washington are searching for a group of burglars who made use of an unusual mode of transportation. King 5's Maddie White has more.
The waves of Lake Washington have been known to buoy many a watercraft, and this Memorial Day was no exception as a serene crowd soaked in its quiet charm.
Nothing really happens here.
But what its peaceful wake was used for early Thursday morning
It's not something I would expect from this area.
may surprise you.
You're looking for a yellow and a blue stand-up paddleboard.
As detectives look for answers,
This seems like some sort of like Mission Impossible type thing.
police say these burglars wearing wetsuits paddled up to a home on 95th Avenue Northeast in Yarrow Point.
They're hearing a window breaking and possibly someone inside.
And forced their way through the back glass door of the home north of Bellevue along Lake Washington.
That's crazy. Hard to believe that someone would target a house like that.
King 5 is working to confirm what was taken from the home. Responding officers suggested over the scanner they took cash.
They took off with approximately $20,000 from this home.
So shocking that people would do such a thing.
You don't see that every day. It's like a full-on heist, basically.
School meals are getting a makeover. They could soon get a whole lot healthier as we are facing historically high childhood obesity rates. There are new nutrition standards from the USDA on the menu now. Whole grains, non-fat milk, and sugar substitutes. Added sugars and sodium will be gradually reduced. The first change will come by the fall of 2025. Advocates say they hope the guidelines can curb childhood obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. However, the guidelines come during severe cuts to pandemic-era funding, and critics say the changes will be expensive for districts that have already been forced to tighten their belts.
The FDA wants to make it easier to understand how to safely take prescription medication. The proposal is a one-page guide that would include the drug's name, what it's used for, safety information, common side effects, and directions on how to take it. Using medication incorrectly contributes to nearly 25% of hospital admissions and approximately 125,000 deaths each year. The FDA is asking for public input on the proposal during the next 60 days before finalizing the rule.
The NBA Finals matchup is set as history will be made over the next 2 weeks. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescenti gives us a preview between the Miami Heat and Denver Nuggets.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Kootenai Heart Clinics.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
Summer's here, and with an exciting new Toyota, you can take a trip to the beach, the city, the mountains, the desert, ooh, the bayou. I think I'm sinking. Definitely sinking.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at Toyota.com.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Did somebody turn off the lights?
Don't forget your seatbelt.
This car won't start until you buckle up.
Seatbelt, Grandma. 1 on, 2 on, take up.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
However you say it, it's perfect. Together, we get there.
I'm Mark Peterson with important information from AARP and BECU. Every year, over 800,000 Washingtonians perform a huge labor of love, caring for elderly parents, spouses, and other loved ones, allowing them to remain at home where they want to be. Whether it be providing transportation, managing medications, or just helping with everyday activities, caregivers play a very important role in the well-being of loved ones. AARP and BECU are here to help with a new campaign, Caring for Caregivers. For tips, tools, and resources, visit this website.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
Of course I know the theme song.
Entertainment tonight. That's what people want.
It's hard to think of Entertainment Tonight without. Oh, I know it.
I mean, come on. Since I was a little kid.
This is Entertainment Tonight. This is the Bible of show business.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Heard that tragic story just a few minutes ago about the child left in the hot car in Puyallup, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about that because it is a little counterintuitive. On the west side of the state, temperatures were the high temperature on that day, the 24th, was only 71 degrees. So just to recap, a 1-year-old was left in a car in Puyallup and died last week. The high temperature was 71 degrees that day in Puyallup, but the baby was in the car in a parking lot for 9 hours. And in 2022, 33 children died of heat stroke in cars. That number's actually down compared to past years. It should be 0, though. Just to show you how quickly a car can heat up. This is assuming an air temperature of 85 degrees. In just 10 minutes, the inside of a car can jump 20 degrees and climbing. By the time you're into an hour, 128 degrees, the inside of the car. That is the temperature. But it doesn't have to be 85 or 95. These are the temperatures showing how quickly a car heats up. This is 95, this is 90. Let's go all the way down to 75, a more typical temperature that we're going to see for the next couple of days. And in 60 minutes, the inside of the car already heating up to 115 degrees. Of course, once you are at a 95-degree day, we're talking 133, 140 degrees inside the car. But any amount of time a baby in the car or a child, their bodies do not cool down as efficiently as ours, and it can be very traumatic. So take a look in the back seat, and cracking the window doesn't quite make the difference you might think it does. This yellow line right here is the inside of the car with the window cracked, and after 60 minutes, everything kind of equals out. So that doesn't quite do it. High temperatures tomorrow will be in the 70s, so cool enough or warm enough to bring the baby inside, because that's really a good rule of thumb regardless. I don't mean to be telling you your business, but here's the average high, and we are headed up into the upper 80s as we get into Monday and Tuesday. We'll be above average for the next couple of days, but the really warm weather is ahead, and indications are that trend is going to continue right on through the middle of June. Breezy tomorrow, that will feel nice, and we have some cool mornings down in the 40s for the next couple, and then we start warming up even at night, 60 degrees Monday night and into Tuesday. Tuesday, our next chance of showers and thunderstorms, only a 20% chance. We have some dry weather ahead for the next 6 days. Kirsten?
Thank you for that update, Chris. New at 6:30. Ukraine is stepping up its counteroffensive with reports of drone attacks in Moscow.
Russian President Vladimir Putin responding today, calling it terrorist activity. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Video shows the aftermath of drone attacks in Moscow. People in Russia's capital waking up to the explosions just a few miles from Russian President Vladimir Putin's country residence. The Moscow mayor saying no serious injuries were reported. This man says he heard a propeller sound around 5 in the morning, then a loud bang, the sound of falling broken glass and debris. A Ukrainian official suggesting it's now not just Ukraine that can get attacked by drones. Putin responding, calling it a clear sign of terrorist activity and warning it's designed to evoke a response. The Ukrainian capital hit by explosive drones for the third night in a row. One person killed when this apartment was hit. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge on the ground in Kyiv.
We can hear intense artillery fire not far from here. And these guys are waiting for the command to move.
ABC News meeting this Ukrainian tank platoon preparing for a major offensive.
Most of the tanks in the Ukrainian military are made up of these T-72 Soviet-era models. The Ukrainians now have an unknown number of British-made and German-made advanced tanks, but those tanks are being hidden from view.
This is the first large-scale barrage of drones to strike Moscow since the start of Russia's invasion. It does not appear the drones caused serious damage. Most were easily brought down. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. A classic roast beef saddled up with all that. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
The Chevy RS family of SUVs has it all. Whether you want the 10.2-inch diagonal color touchscreen on Blazer or extra peace of mind with Chevy Safety Assist standard on the 2023 Chevy family of SUVs. So take your pick. The choice is yours. Spring into adventure and get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Life, it doesn't stand still, and neither do you. And wherever you go, we're with you. We're Global Credit Union, formerly Alaska USA. For 75 years, enriching the lives of members and guiding them on their financial journeys, giving them the confidence to not just follow their dreams, but to chase them. The future? We're on it. Let's get there together. Global Credit Union. On we go.
Are you interested in a top-load laundry set? See the best selection of top-load laundry sets anywhere at Fred's Memorial Day sale.
Like this Hot Point top-load set. Top-load washers and dryers start at $4.99 each.
GE top-load laundry sets have features like a water station for hand rinsing, sensor drying, and deep fill for your biggest loads.
Buy 1 pedestal and get the second one free on select front-load models.
GE laundry sets are on sale and in stock. Stop by today at Fred's Memorial Day sale.
My dad has dementia, Alzheimer's. The major issue that we face as a multi-generation family is what is the care for the caregivers, especially for the younger generation walk cares. Will provide peace of mind that when you need some time off to take care of yourself while taking care of the family. For people of color, for minority communities who are already shy of asking for help, when they need it, it's out there, it's available, and it's easy to go ask for help.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Arby's crispy classic chicken sandwich. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington's Lottery and Hit 5.
Well, as reporters, we're always looking to localize the national story. And when it comes to the NBA Finals, I think we found it in the form of Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra, a native of the Pacific Northwest. He grew up in Portland and played his college ball over at UP, where he was named the WCC Freshman of the Year back in 1989. Fast forward about 30 years, and he's about to coach in his 7th NBA Finals after the Heat blew out the Boston Celtics in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals last night. And Miami had to do it the hard way this year, going through the play-in tournament and then having to win 3 rounds in the playoffs as the 8th seed. But if you know anything about Heat culture, you know they expect to win every time they take the court.
We have some incredible competitors in that locker room. They love the challenge. They love putting themselves out there in front of everybody, open to criticism, open to everything, but to compete for it. And that's a beautiful thing.
I know the work that we all put into it, so I know what we're capable of, but nobody's satisfied. We haven't done anything. We don't play just to win the Eastern Conference. We play to win the whole thing.
And Miami's next opponent, the Denver Nuggets, have been waiting around for more than a week after they made quick work of the Los Angeles Lakers to advance to their first NBA Finals in franchise history. The Nuggets are led by 2-time league MVP Nikola Jokic, who's averaging more than 30 points a game this postseason. And they enter these finals as heavy favorites, but they're not about to start disrespecting the Heat right now.
When you get to the NBA Finals, it's not about seeding anymore. And for those that are thinking that this is going to be an easy series, I don't even know what to say to you people. I mean, like, this is going to be the biggest challenge of our lives. It's the NBA Finals. You know, you're trying to win the first NBA championship in franchise history. It's going to be the hardest thing that we've ever done.
So the stage is set. Game 1 of the 2023 NBA Finals is coming up on Thursday evening, and you can catch that game right here on KXLY ABC4. And closer to home, the Spokane Indians catcher Braxton Fulford is on the move after he got called up to AA Hartford today. In 37 games with the Indians this season, he was batting .307 with a .511 slugging percentage to go along with his 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. And back in April, Fulford was named the Northwest League Player of the Week. And checking in on the Indians, they are down in the Tri-Cities, taking on the Dust Devils to start a 6-game series this evening. Indians enter this one as in second place in the Northwest League standings, trying to get back to first where they were last week. And also checking in on the Seattle Mariners. They just got underway with the New York Yankees after getting destroyed last night by the Bronx Bombers. They're looking for a bounce back, and we're going to have the highlights coming up for you on Nightside. Guys, I'll send it back over to you.
Let's think about Hoop Fest now, Alex, because I know that you and Jordan are taking it down to the wire.
We're putting a dream team together.
Today is the last day, guys. You got hours left at this point to register your team for Hoop Fest. Find the link to register in the largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the world on our website, KXLY.com.
New at 6:30 here tonight, artificial intelligence could lead to severe global consequences. According to a statement from industry leaders and academics, they argue reducing that risk should be a top global priority alongside pandemics and nuclear war. The statement on the Center for AI Safety website is from dozens of experts, including top executives at OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft. Experts say AI is a long way from extreme sci-fi depictions, but several industry leaders are asking Congress to regulate it now before major mishaps might occur. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Next, Inside Edition. Why are bees suddenly going on the attack? What's really upsetting the bees as never before?
This is not a joke.
Then, imagine finding this couch on the street, tossed aside with the garbage. Wait till you see what it's really worth.
So she potentially found an $8,000 couch.
Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Ironstone is having a Memorial Day sale. Save 30% on sofas, sectionals, and dining room furniture. Shop now through May 31st. Customize your style by visiting our showroom at 262 West Hanley Avenue. Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Adventure, culture, and fine wine await you in the Lewis-Clark Valley, less than 2 hours south of Spokane. Tour some of the world's most spectacular wilderness, beauty, and wildlife in Hell's Canyon. Experience the region's rich and diverse culture and history. Savor award-winning Lewis-Clark Valley wines and delicious culinary creations from a variety of local wineries and fine dining establishments. Go to visitlewisclarkvalley.com and plan your destination getaway today.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Call Russell & Hill, attorneys at law, where real people with real injuries get real results. 24/7, nights and weekends. Free consultations. And there's never a fee unless we win. Choose 2. Choose Russell & Hill.
Considering selling your RV? R&R wants it. Tired of paying storage fees? R&R needs it. Just don't use it anymore? R&R will buy it. Due to a critical shortage of pre-owned RVs, R&R RV is currently paying our absolute top dollar for your used RV. Any year, any make, any model. Turn your RV into cash or flip it for a newer model. So if you no longer use it or want it, let R&R RV buy it. Visit the R&R RV Superstore in Liberty Lake or call Keith at 509-499-2601.
Tonight on the Game Show Show. Buckle up for some sexy, fun, loving games.
Game shows got a lot dirtier in a big hurry.
Making whoopee. Good heavens.
It's just so fun to watch.
Welcome to the Game Show.
Tonight on ABC.
Ironstone is having a Memorial Day sale. Save 30% on sofas, sectionals, and dining room furniture. Shop now through May 31st. Customize your style by visiting our showroom at 262 West Hanley Avenue. Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Diamonds and Dreams is proudly sponsored by Knutson Chevrolet in Post Falls.
Super pleasant spring weather tomorrow, starting the day off in the 40s, a high of 74 with a nice breeze in the afternoon just to keep you cool. Our average high is 70. Enjoy that feeling of comfortable, cool air. So we have some hot stuff coming.
I got to lay off the sun. I got a nice little sunburn over the last couple days. So.
I see you look rather bronzed.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.